Hey y'all, this is TCA Gaming, and I hope you guys are having a great weekend. In this video, we are going to have some CGC bulk returns. Definitely did not do well on the submission. It is a short stack out of over 400 cards that I've gotten back. But also, I'm going to show you guys a few things that I got in on consignment, as well as a surprise purchase that I am very happy to add to my personal collection, at least for now. I may eventually move it. It's kind of out of place at the moment, but it's still kind of nice. I haven't had one of these in a while. So let's start with some of these. All right, so this was a 400 card submission. These are going to be the best, at least the top results that I got. I did not do very well, but starting off with this one, not too bad. Got a Celebrations Mew. You'd be surprised, even in a CGC 10, like this card goes up significantly from the raw card price. The PSA 10 is really tough to find, and it is quite expensive. There's a nice pristine Radiant Gardevoir. Cards like this aren't going to bring too much more than like the regular art rare price, but you do see some increase, as you should, with the pristine grade. I did also grade a Japanese version of the Mew. I don't know if that's going to do much for it or not. I actually haven't looked that one up. A lot of these art rares, I just submit them if I think they are well centered and the condition is good. I really like this Noctowl. Pretty good artwork there. Got a Ho-Oh from the 25th anniversary collection. This Jinx, as you imagine, come from one of the Shadowless theme decks that I had opened up. I think that was the only 10 that I got. Maybe there's another one here in the stack somewhere, but I did not do well on the most recent Shadowless deck submission. Maybe because I submitted with, Japanese modern cards. That might have been the mess up on my part. Nice pristine with the Gyarados and the Arcanine. Like both of those artworks. Here we have a Charmeleon. Got the Enzarua. Now, I did submit a lot of these. I don't think I had, but maybe a few of the pristine Enzaruas, but large submission. I had another bad Ancient Mew submission, so this is the highest grade I got out of 10. Sometimes I get like almost all gem men or pristines, and then other times it's just like this, like where it's all 9 and lower. Got the tail. I think I submitted maybe 10 of these. Same thing with the Renicholas. I got a few pristines, but for the most part, they were not pristine. However, the condition on these, if you guys pulled any of these out of your boxes, they were really nice. So I am happy that we did pull a few of these. A lot of times the English promos, it's pretty tough to get that pristine grade. There's Ivysaur. My Bumblebee Pikachus did pretty well. I did have a section of them where it was just like a bunch of 8.5s and 9s, which is surprising. Because usually I have my highest stack is pristine, and then after that it's Gem Mint 10, because these are just like, they're just made really well. They're always centered really well. And yeah, overall not too bad on the Pikachu itself. I did submit 4 Topps cards, and they did okay. I was looking at the condition, very fair. Because like with this Gengar, it has a super clean front, but I want to say like on the back side, like a little corner piece right there. See that white dot? I think that's what dropped that one all the way down. And then like with the Pikachu, again, super clean fronts. But I want to see on the back side, yeah, there was like a little bit of whitening on that top side. So I was okay with those grades. And then I did submit like 50 of these Metal Mews. Again, this is kind of like the Ancient Mew. Every now and then I'll get a submission where it's almost all Gem Mint 10s, a few pristine sprinkled in here and there. And then, there'll be other submissions where they're like almost all 8.5s and 9s. And then I'll have a few regular Gem Mint 10s sprinkled in. And that was the case with this one. And so that was the highlights of the submission. However, I do have some bloopers I'm going to show you guys here in a minute. But before I do so, I'm going to show you a consignment that I got in. So I had a guy send in some packs. He wanted to sell these through me because they all have like a little bit of damage kind of around right here or right here. So some of them have small tears. And he sent a pack that he opened up just to show that, everything's legit on the inside. It was a light pack. I'm assuming these others are light, but I really don't know. I don't think it's kind of hard to tell with base set 2, so I didn't even weigh them. But like these are on consignment, and that's like number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. I think I'm going to do about 8 packs a week or so. This is the only Gyarados artwork that's going to be listed here soon, so make sure you check that out. But like if you see right there, it's like torn. You can see it a little better on, I think there's one of the Raichu packs right there too. and he was worried that if he sold them himself, I assume it's the customer thing. And I'm a little worried too that they're not gonna like that. But I scanned the front, scanned the back. I showed the tear in a picture, mentioned it in the title and in the subtitle. So hopefully that's enough that buyers can see. And then anyone who's looking to buy just like a sealed pack, get it for cheap, still good for display, this is going to be your pack to go to. All right. So next we got there's a few grade bloopers. And then after that, I'm going to show you guys my surprise purchase. Here we go. This, I guess, is not really a blooper, but it's a partial crimped special delivery Charizard. See it along the bottom here. That's where you see it. Looks like it's kind of bumpy. That's cool. Pick up one of those. I think that's going to be about as high of a grade as you can get. Looking at this one, it's a mint 9, which I'm not happy about the grade. Most of you probably think it's because of the centering. It's actually not because of the centering, or if it is, then they're not familiar with how to grade this particular card. This is the front of the card. You can see the centering on the front is good. The back will never match up completely. It'll look like it's kind of shifted because of this versus that. But you got to understand, if this right here shifted up anymore, then this Pokemon League badge goes to the top. So you got to look at the centering on the front for these cards, for these inserts. And I've always done really, really decent on these, but I did not on this one. I got 2 9s. One was put in backwards, one was put in forwards, and then I got a 6. So, not sure why this one got a 6. I do check all of these pretty carefully before I send them in because these are just inserts. Like, I used to throw these away. And in fact, if they are off center, I do throw them away. But I was sold out of these in Gem Mint 10, and I was hoping I'd get some more, but I did not. I don't know why this one got a 6. I'll have to look at the surface a little bit closer. What I can tell, I'm not seeing anything, but it could just be my eyes looking at it through the case, because a lot of times there are things that are unseen through the case until you break it out, and then of course it's too late. Giratina V. Now this one I was surprised at. It's a little OC, but I wasn't expecting a 7. Condition's pretty good. I don't know if maybe on this side here I was picking up like it was saying that was a dent, but I really couldn't find anything. So this one, I think it's worth it to take a crack at cracking out and just see. Maybe there was something obvious, or like the dent there. I don't think it's a dent, but maybe I'd missed it when I bought this thing raw. And so we'll see what happens with that one. Now this one, authentic altered. I was like, okay, well, that's strange. And on the back, it actually says that it was inked. And the thing is, like, I opened this from distribution, bought the cases that's where I got every one of these. Yeah, it's straight from a sealed box myself. And but the thing is, it's going to be really hard to pick up. I think there was a corner where it almost looked like it, because if you look, there's a blue layer between the front and the back, with Pokemon, and it's kind of tough to see. But if you look at it really close at some of these corners, sometimes it does look like that blue layer comes through as inking, but this one for sure it's not inked. I can guarantee it. But they marked it as authentic altered, so did not get a grade on that one. And then same thing with this one, except of course I did not get this from like a sealed case. I bought this off somebody, but I thought it looked pretty good. This one, I could actually see the blue dot, but it was on the side, like it was in the thickness of the card, and it was just like one little spot. So I don't know why somebody would have, if somebody did this on purpose, would have marked it with a blue marker and then sold it to me, unless the damage was really that obvious. But from what I remember, I don't think I paid like a crazy high price for this. But anyways, both of those come back authentic altered. We'll see. I'll probably break them out and just see if I agree with that. The Mew I definitely don't. But, I did see through the case like why the person who graded it thought so. All right, and here is my surprise purchase. Boom, a nice Neo Destiny box. Had one of my WotC contacts reach out. She's actually like a WotC middle woman, but I believe she also worked at WotC for a while back. Bought this. I paid higher than the most 2 recent public sales. which were 16 and 18. Paid quite a bit up from that. It is unlimited Neo Destiny. If you go on eBay now, you're not going to find one of these, or at least when I checked, the cheapest was like $50K for a Neo Destiny box, and which of course none have sold at that price. But I could see this being a box that achieves that kind of price in a not too distant future. I mean, you got to understand that this is one of the most sought after sets. Of course, this is unlimited. This is not first edition. Now, I think that, you know, if you're buying something like this and you look at the most recent sales of 16,000, 18,000, which were over a year ago and like 2 years ago, you got to kind of think about like how much you're willing to pay to sit on it, but also you got to factor in the, you know, those recent prices, not what it's showing to be sitting at on eBay, which was around the 50K mark. But I like the fact that this comes directly from a WotC employee. This had a little mishap in the mail. As soon as it arrived at UPS, it had a severe weather delay. Like as soon as it got there, like out of control emergency. And then it left that facility, made it to another facility halfway across America, and it had another severe emergency like delay. And then 2 days later, it finally arrived. So it was supposed to be an overnight, but it did not happen overnight. I hope she was able to get some of her money back. But very nostalgic for me. If you guys saw my Instagram post with the 3 shining Charizards, that's why, because I was buying one of these. And I got to thinking about the shinings, and I was like, you know what? Let's just post the shining Charizards that I have. I do have the other shinings from Neo Destiny, both first edition and unlimited. But Japanese, I only have the Charizard. And of course, Charizard I think is really cool. I think Mewtwo has a great artwork. You've got the Tyranitar with an arrow, so it kind of hits all the different little check boxes there. Noctowl I pulled as a kid. And then, you know, have some people who like Kabutops, and some people who think Raichu's their favorite. I'm talking to you, John. But anyways, guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry if I've slowed down a little bit on the shorts as of late. I'm having fun. We're building stuff. I kind of threw up my back and arm yesterday. Guess I'm not as strong as I used to be. We were lifting up walls. Well, I lifted up most of the walls by myself, and my family come and helped me with a 30-foot wall that I had built for her storage room. And, you know, it was a little, it's not that heavy when you're picking up that long of a wall, because it's just the studs. And you got your studs, and then you've got your top and your bottom, and then like anywhere you have headers, your entryway. But when it's that long, if you just pick it up in one spot, the rest of the wall wants to like fall down. So it was kind of cool. I had my wife beside me, and the kids kind of spread towards closer to the ends, and then we all lifted up the wall. And it was so much easier with that much help versus me trying to fight it myself. And I have to remember, you know, even in not just times like that, but other times in your life as well, it's okay to ask for help, especially from those that you trust and you care about. Because they are likely going to care about you as well and your well-being. But anyways, thanks guys for watching the video. Sorry to get off Pokemon. Hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend.